Welcome to Calvin Game Files. I'm your host, Calvin Johnson, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get Five Nights at Freddy's characters in Minecraft. I've watched so many videos on just all over the internet. I looked, and it's just them like painting the mobs. It looks like Five Nights at Freddy's characters, so you can do better competitions, blah blah blah. And it doesn't help me at all. Like, it doesn't help me give me any ideas. And I noticed that they use an editor to do it, and they send it into Minecraft. First of all, not it gets sometimes it gets complicated, like sending it into Minecraft, and sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you have problems, and and it's just really annoying. A lot of signing in, and maybe you have to pay money. It's really annoying. And I just found an app that works really great, and I have all pros. There's almost no problems, and if there is, I will definitely explain them. But there's gonna be a multiple episodes. I'm not gonna make them long. I really don't want to have to make a freaking half-hour long video on this. I mean, if that's what you want, but I'm making some short ones so that you guys get like the gif. So basically, it works on Android, Motorola G 5G, on tablets and other things like that. It doesn't work on all devices, but it does work on most of them. It's right here. It's called Craft Add-ons. If you heard it, then I would suggest not watching this because you probably already used it if you heard of it. But if you have not, as you can see, I have Minecraft and I have Craft Add-ons. Go into Craft Add-ons, just like this. Okay, now you get your daily reward. You'll get diamonds. Now there is a big problem with the diamonds thing, because if you don't have diamonds, you will not be able to send anything that you made into Minecraft from here into Minecraft. So what you can do is either get the subscription and get infinite diamonds, or you just do the thing where you get daily diamonds and, well, you don't have all possibilities. But as you see, I have pretty much plenty of diamonds. Costs 40 diamonds exact to send something into Minecraft. So you go to projects. As you can see, I have plenty of things right here. But as you can see, look at this. It's just beautiful. Now, it's not the best, but I think it's pretty good. Now, this is a zombie, by the way. Now, I will give you a full tutorial on how to make this, because see the ears up there? A zombie doesn't come with this. So here, I'm going to go ahead and get out real quick. Let's move my head. And let's hit this. You can pick add-on. Now, I can give you, this is going to be a tutorial, so, okay, so there's skin right here. And skin is basically just like you can send a skin for yourself for Minecraft. Congratulations. I don't know what dress up is. Don't ask why. I really don't do much of that. Structure, not dapt either. Add-on, that's what I use all the time. Whatever you hit an add-on is what you will get. There's also map, which I'm going to assume customizes the Minecraft world, which is very complicated and that takes a lot of time and patience. There's a trade table, which is you can change the trade table for a villager or wandering trader, and you can customize your own stuff for trade. And I will say before you start doing the trade table, it doesn't, for me, it hasn't worked yet. I go and it's just the regular thing, so I don't trust it yet. Okay, then there's also JSON file and JavaScript for if you need that 100%. And then there's a loot table, which is whatever the monster drops. So that will come in handy. So if I go here, I hit add-on. Now, I can pick any mob I want, but you can also do other mobs that, like, don't exist in Minecraft, like fire ants and other weird stuff. Then there's new. Now, all of this is all really strange, but if this is armor right here, this looks funky, but you can change it completely whatever you want. You can do capes, you can do other blocks and item. So you can just pretty much pick whatever you want, and then you can, like, change what the armor stuff looks like. Then there's weapon. Now, these are guns, but personally, I hit sword. This one, the rainbow-looking sword, not sword 3D, the sword. If you want to make a weapon, because everything else doesn't work. You have to hit the sword that looks really funky, because if you do, it's going to look like this, but you can hit skin, you can change to like this. That's a basic Minecraft sword, and you can paint it by hitting the pencil. You can do whatever you want. You can paint it pixel by pixel, simple like that. And then you can also change its stats. So attack does how much damage. Now 9, as an example, does not do 9 hearts. The 9 represents half a heart. So as an example, 1 on the chart here represents 1 half heart, just a half a heart. So 2 would be 1 heart. And a Minecraft player has 10 hearts. So if you put this, by tapping this, on 20, this would instantly kill a person. Now movement is how fast you are while holding the weapon. So 1 is standard. If you go 2, you'll be pretty fast. You'll be fast because if you're holding a sword, it puts you down to 1. My regular speed for a player is 2. And while sprinting, you're 3. And so if you hold this, while holding the sword, your speed will be 3 if you have it on 0.3, and if you sprint, it's 4. Basically, you're doubling your speed, pretty much, if you make the movement that much. Okay, now I haven't fully figured out health. I don't know what that does. Oh, never mind. I'm a doofus. So health gives you, like, you know how if you eat a golden apple, it gives you more golden hearts? That's what this does. So if you make this 25, you'll get an additional 2.5 hearts, because that's 5. So if you make it even, do 26. That's additional 3 hearts, because it only gives you, because in this thing it does it by half a heart. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. It does it by half a heart for health and attack damage. So this would kill you instantly if the sword was this pink sword. And health, it would give you 3 additional hearts while holding it and make you super fast while holding it. Plus, it kills anything instantly. Pre-stacked sword. This is durability. As an example, 1 durability means after 1 time of hitting anything, it breaks. So basically, so a wooden sword has 60 durability as an example. And so after 60 uses or 60 attacks using it, it would break. That's how weak it is. And so durability goes in waivers. And then the craft recipe. You can literally craft whatever you want. You can put it. You clap this, you go to the search thing, you hit stick, and then you put that in there, and there it's there. So there it is. And then when you're done, you just go and you hit, after you hit the X on the top, you hit save project. But I'm not going to, because I really don't want that sword, because that's not how I work. Okay? Now I can show you some of the stuff I made, but I'm just going to go through the tutorial. So add-on. The first thing I did is zombie. Now there's 2. I'll show you both, because both of these are very complicated. Okay? So, modify in-game. If you hit this will modify the zombie in general. So when a average zombie spawns, it will do whatever you make it look like. So you can paint it, just like this. Whatever you want to look like. Make sure, if you do this, as you can see, it's like floating, the color. That's because you have to go to here. This is the body. You take this, it removes the whole thing completely. If you put it back on, which I don't know why it's not, okay. Then, see? Then you can paint inside, because if you don't, and you just paint, so if I go, and I put the whole body, it's not working if you retarded. Excuse me. Okay, go in. So it's like this. If you just paint the whole thing, right, you won't get in underneath, like, the body. So if I go and I hit remove the arm, now I can paint this. Otherwise, it would, if you make a character, when a zombie starts moving, you'll notice that there'll be an off color to whatever. Like, so if you make the whole thing like a solid green, there'll be some blue of the shirt because you missed. Many times I've done this, so trust me on this. Okay? Now, the animation is very interesting. This is a lot of work. You do this, you can change the way it walks, the way it holds a weapon, like the way it does things. But if you do it, it's going to be a lot of work. It's a lot of stop motion things. So for move, see? And then you can like grab a limb. So this, you can grab a limb, or if it will let me, outer outliner. You can pick the thing, yeah, and then you can basically rotate it by, if it will let me. But yeah, basically you can just change the way it moves. You can basically pick how it walks, which is, it's a lot of work, and I almost never do that. And then there's the sound, which is you can upload sound, download sound, or you can record your own voice. And so every time it like makes a natural noise, every like 10 or 20 seconds, whatever it does, it will play that noise. And it works some of the time, sometimes it doesn't. It did work before, so sometimes it doesn't. So no, you cannot change the name. It says zombie because you're using modifying game. Now you can still change the health of it. The size is just how big it is. So 1.0 is 2 blocks. And then this is like adding like a little tiny bit. And then like you can do the fraction of the size of a block. So 1.5 is a block and a slab tall. I think a husk and with a skeleton are that tall. And then if you do 2, that would be 3 blocks tall. So that would be as tall, maybe as tall as, I don't know how tall an Enderman is. Is it 3 blocks or is it 3 blocks and a slab? Or 4 blocks. I'm not quite sure. But basically, if it's 2.0, that's straight 3 blocks. Not 2 blocks, don't get that wrong. Because 0.1 is 2 blocks tall, or the size of Steve. Or the size of a player, that's normal. So this is movement speed, this makes it faster. Zombies always on 1, that's super slow. Players walk speed is 2, and sprint is 3, see? And so, yeah, it's pretty simple. XP reward, you can pick how much XP it drops. Type family. Now, doing this, it, like, gives it, like, different, like computer, experiences when it does things. So if you put warden on here, nothing will probably happen. It will probably just act like a zombie and nothing more. If you add, like, warden, okay? So I haven't really figured out, like, all, like, the benefits with the type. I haven't messed with it much. But you can do nameable, so this is kind of, like, not thing at all. You hit always show, meaning when you hit the name tag, basically you can see the name tag through walls. And then basically you can rename it. So if you hit the name tag, you can rename it. And if you don't have that on, you will not be able to rename it once named. Okay, so I really don't care much for that. Then there's water breathe. Obviously, you can pick for how many seconds he can breathe underwater. Okay, he's got generate bubbles. you don't need to if you don't want to have him have bubbles. And then breeze water. Breeze water, he can breathe underwater and not drown. If you don't take that off, he'll die. But basically, if you have the breeze water on, no matter how many buttons numbers you have, it doesn't really matter because you breeze water. Okay, then this is attack. Effect, you can put like levitation, so when he hits you, it changes the effect. Dude, this is sick. But I will warn you, it hasn't worked for me. None of this has. And it has worked for some other people who've used it, because I have a couple friends who did it, and it worked for them. And I'm like, okay, it doesn't work for me. So it might just be a me thing, but it does work for apparently some of my friends. And you can just pick an effect and it will automatically attack it every time he hits you. And then this is the damage, so the effect. Remember, half heart, so 3 damage would be one heart and a half. That would be, that's the damage that a zombie takes. So 4 would be 2 hearts. You gotta keep it in mind, because I get so confused. Once I learned it, it's not confusing anymore, but do bear in mind, it is half a heart per everything. Burns in daylight, you can easily take that off. I don't even know what I got rid of. Loot table, so right now it's zombie, right? But see how I have the other ones, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy? Because I made my own loot table. Basically means once you pick it, once you customize your loot table in the thing that I just had back, you can pick one of these. And it will automatically load into the loot table thing. So when you make a monster, you go, after you hit loot table, you come in here to the monster you make. Once you save it, you can just come back in here and you re-edit it. Once you save it, you can still edit it again later. Then you hit the loot table, and you pick the one that you knew, and then it will change. And then this is Nero's attackable target, so this is the radius, so the block radius. So if I made it 100, it can see you from 100 blocks away, which is insane. And it will probably follow you from that distance. You have to get outside the 100 block ranges for it to not see you anymore, to lose it. And then nearest attackable monster is the thing that it will start attacking the moment it sees it. So players included Snow Golem, Iron Golem, Villager, and Baby Turtles. So simple like that. So there's other things. So the top one is avoid direct sunlight. When the sun is and it's literally burning, it will try to hide under a tree or something like that, or jump in the water. That is it's very interesting. It's actually cool, but you don't have to add it. Avoid mob type, meaning so a creeper would have ocelot, meaning it would run away from it if you have it. And then there's boss. So if you have a boss, it will have a health bar on the top. The clouds will get dark. If I hit it, have other things. Yeah. So HUD ranger mean like for 55 blocks away. So if you're 55 blocks away, it would not. So should darken sky examples. Okay. So there's break blocks. Basically, you can have it so it can break blocks. Literally, you can pick the block, as you can see. You can pick like Arcacia door, and then you can just like straight up break it. Like one hit, it's broken. Like one hit, gone. So I wouldn't necessarily put that. Then break door. So if you have a door, you can pick break door, and then you can pick on what difficulty it does it, and then you can pick how many seconds it takes for it to break it. Simple, all simple things. Okay, breedable basically means you whatever type. Basically, this is what it will give birth to, which is really strange. So, no way, zombie pigman. Oh gosh, a baby zombie pigman, and you can breed it with cooked beef. You give it cooked beef, and it will give you. If you give a zombie pigman cooked beef, it will give birth to. Yeah, it will give birth to. It doesn't. I don't know why I'm not equipping it. Oh, there's a. I have to take out the check mark. But yeah, basically, it will give birth to a whatever you feed it. You can change the feed thing. But yeah, okay. So it can climb. I'm only gonna assume it can climb walls and things like a spider. I think that's only a spider thing. And then there's can fly, which is it can fly like a phantom. That's fall damage. So if it has fall damage or not. Like some of them are just like one switch, fall damage or not. Does it take fall damage or not? Yeah, da da da. Okay, fire immune is it immune to fire or not? And then this flee sun, basically the same thing. Will it run away from the sun? Now, avoid direct sunlight, meaning it won't stand directly in the sun way. Now, flee sun is a little bit different than avoid direct sunlight, meaning if it's under a tree already, right? So, let's say this, a zombie spawns, it's daylight. If it has flee sun on, it will immediately start running into the water, okay? But if it spawns in the sun, and it only has avoid direct sunlight on, it will still burn in the day and just continue walking. Simple as that. But if it's already in the shade and there's sun out, it won't go out in the sun. It will just stay under the tree if it's already in the shade. Okay, it won't come out into the sun. But if it's already in the sun, it's screwed. Doesn't matter. It's kind of retarded. But it's actually interesting to have either one on. So healable, meaning like if it's a dog, if you have healable on. Yeah, basically, I'll put it at the top here. So healable, it makes it so that if it gets, if you feed it bones, feed it rock, whatever you need to do to make it have more health. It's usually for pets if you want it. Then there's hurt when wet, like an Enderman. If it sets in water or rain, it dies. Inventory. So basically, this is for like a pigman, piglin. This is the piglin is the only mob that has it, and so I'm gonna assume the things that it will give you when throwing gold to it. I haven't fully messed around with inventory. I never messed around with that. Leap at target, that's cool by the way. I messed with this one. It literally, when it gets like, if you hit leap at target, it picks the block distance. So, I do this right here, this is 10 blocks. Now when it does point, it means 10 blocks. But if it doesn't do 10 point, then yeah, you can figure out the math. Once you get the app, you can mess around with it on your own. But basically, basically it literally jumps at you. Like once it gets that block distance, it jumps at you straight through the air and starts attacking you. It's insane. And if you're closer, if you're really closer, it jumps above your head. It comes down on your head and starts attacking you. It's really insane. It's actually cool. Then there would be material. So basically, what it looks like: transparent or opaque or translucent or things like that to make it like. Is it like a see-through monster? You know, that's I messed around with that. It's actually not that bad. It actually works. So then there's melee attack, which is basically the attack multiplier. So basically, if you know how it's kind of like combos. So basically, it adds 0.1 combo. So when it hits you, right, it does like the 1.5 heart damage, right? But if it hits you a second time, like a double hit, you know, like if you're playing Halo, you get like double kill. Well, it's basically like that. It basically adds a half heart point. So every time it double hits you, or in a row, like it adds a half heart to it, continually defeating you. And then there's also I usually put that at 0, but when you're doing it, because I want it to track the target, so meaning even if it goes out of the distance, it will still continually follow you for like an additional 25 blocks until then it will lose you. But that's what track it means. So like even if also I think if it has track target on, I think it can see you even if you have an invisibility potion on. Just letting you know. And multiple skins. I have not messed around with this. I don't know what multiple skins does at all. So don't ask me. So nameable, that's we just looked at that. Okay. Open door, meaning it can open a door like a villager. I can only imagine if monsters can open a door. Panic, that's only for animals. So if you hit it, it will go oh and start running away from you once you hit it. Okay, then there's range attack for like, so if you do range attack, this is interesting. You can pick burst shots, meaning it shoots more than one. Right now it shoots 3, which I don't want it to shoot 3. Then there's burst interval, which I haven't figured out that yet. Attack radius, so how many blocks it can shoot you from. There's a difference between seeing you and how many blocks it can to shoot you. So if it sees you 30 blocks, it has to walk towards you and then get in that 16 block radius to then shoot you. And then attack speed multiplier, meaning example, like every time it hits you with an arrow, it does the same thing. And then there's dragon fireball, small fireball, thrown trident is insane. Basically, it's just they even though they don't have a trident in their hands, like I made one skeleton have thrown trident, and it looked like it was pointing a bow at me, but then it shot a trident at me, even though it was not holding a trident. So just let you know, or llama spit or snowball, literally anything you can pick. Then let's go down some more. We've got rideable, meaning you can pick if it's rideable or not. You can pick the position, as you can see, like where on it, so you're not like off. Because I think it's literally meant for like a horse. That's the position, I think, the default. But you can pick whatever you want. See what else is here. Rideable after being tamed, so you can't ride it unless you tame it. Or just rideable, meaning you can ride it just like a skeleton horse. You can straight up ride it. Or rideable after being tamed, meaning you have to tame it first before you ride it. So simple. Skin and model, haven't fully figured that out yet. Tameable. Basically, if it's tameable, it follows you everywhere. Like, basically acts like a dog. And then there's teleport. Basically, it can teleport. Trade table. That's the trade table I was referring to. You can pick your trade table out. Transformation. I haven't figured that out yet. Still working on it. And then water float. Literally means it floats on water. So, there you go. That's the whole tutorial for making a creature. Okay? I'm going to end the video here. I don't want it to get any longer than that. But watch the second part so that I can show you how to do a model. That is going to be interesting. Peace out, guys.